Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Amanda, and we are about to do a HRCYED update. What is HRCYED? It is the hardest reading challenge you'll ever do. It was created by Stephanie over at QWERTY, so I will make sure that I link her down below. You can go check out all the things. She made up all the prompts. She has a website where you can enter everything. She has a huge Discord that is so overwhelming that I barely go there. But the bingo board is where everything begins. And so I'm going to walk you through the bingo board and then what all of my spaces look like. And maybe we'll talk about some changes that have happened in the last month and what my plans are moving forward. Usually I spin a wheel and pick 2 HRCYED challenges to work on for the month. I did not do that in October, and we'll talk about why I might not have to do that in October and still be on track when we get over there. So let me get out of the way and we'll look at Stephanie's bingo board. This is the spreadsheet that is connected to the challenge. I didn't do anything to create this. This is all done by Stephanie, and this is the bingo board. Everything is usually purple or white. The reason there's some things that are green is because I've finished the ones that are green. And you can hover over it and it will pull up this link and it links you to the page at the bottom that takes you to where you want to go. So we're actually just going to start at the bottom and make our way across. I've added nothing else to the subgenre of choice for this month because I still have to read a sci-fi romance and a Western romance. So the sci-fi romance is going to be one of the alien ones that I have. I have ideas for both of those. I just haven't read anything that I could count for that yet. Then we have the series staircase. So you have to read a standalone, a duology, a trilogy, and then 4 or more in a series. And I did go back and double check. If your series has 30 books in it, you only have to read 4 books in that 30-book series to finish this part, 4 or more. So I think that I might use the Discworld series for my 4 books, but I just read The Friend Zone and I have the Happy Ever After playlist on hold on Libby, and then Life's Too Short is the last book in that trilogy. So I think I'm going to read this Abby Jimenez trilogy for this one, and then the duology, either one of these, Monk and Robot and True Colors, I own both of those duologies. So I don't know, whichever one I get to first, I guess, is the one that I will be reading. Then we have award season, and I decided after I found out after my last one, I do only have to have 1 in every category. So I have 1 winner and 1 finalist right now. I have 1 winner and 1 entrant right now. And I think I will just get a finalist, a semifinalist, and then 3 other entrants, because entrants are so easy to get because you can see on Goodreads when it says nominated for and it has an award out beside there. That means they were an entrant in that award. So that's going to be the easiest thing for me to do, I think, to find the books that go in here. But so far, I have these 2. The TBR game, I have gone back and forth and been so wishy-washy about what TBR game I'm going to play, to the point that I don't even know what I'm going to play. I still think that I might send Becca from Becca Books and Bujo. Yeah, right here. I think I may send her a message and just ask her if she will play her deck of TBR game for me. Otherwise, I'll just steal the stuff that she does and I'll play it myself. But sometimes in the past, when I have asked other booktubers if they will play their game for me, they've said yes. So I've had at least 2 different people do it. Maybe a couple more have been willing to participate and give me prompts and stuff. So I might send Becca a message and see about that one, but I'm not super concerned about it yet. It's just going to be 5 books for 5 prompts. So that can happen really any month. The last 10 years is so close to being finished. And the reason I said I didn't need to spin the wheel is because The Will of the Many came out in 2023. And I am reading that in this month, like next week probably. And so that is going to cover 2023 and I will be done with the last 10 years. So I filled in Hollowpox and the Bourbon Kings because those are the ones that I most recently finished. And Death of Darkness I finished also this month. And so that's it. The Will of the Many will be the last one. For the disability challenge, I only have one left. I read a lot of books that have disability, but I've been counting them for other things. So it's hard because I'm not doubling up. I guess that's also a thing I should have put in here. I'm choosing not to double up. I did HRCYED 1.0 last year, and I ended up beating it, like completing it without using any double ups. And so that is my plan this year. No double ups unless it gets down to the wire and I need to double up on things, and then I will. So that being said, there are books that could fit in multiple places, but I have to pick a place for them to go. So I do not anticipate it being a problem to get, oh, I did not enter autism here. I don't anticipate it being an issue to get my last disability prompt, but I will need a disability for Heritage Month, Disability Pride Month. So I will need another disability book for over here. So that's 2 that I need. And then all the rest of these Heritage Months, I've not done any of them. And we do have a rainbow prompt that's coming up later. And so I will need to read an extra one of those books that will fit for that. I wouldn't hate it if I read a nonfiction book about each of these heritages, is that a word, that we're reading about here. And so I might be looking for that. So if anybody has a nonfiction book that is about any of these heritage months or about the heritages, oh my gosh, I cannot say it, in general, I would appreciate your recommendations. This is the only board I think that I have that's completely blank. Well, except for the last one. Then we have the translation challenge, and I read The Answer is No, translated from Swedish. That was last month. I read Inkheart, which was this month, translated from German, and I read the posthumous memoir of Brás Cubas translated from Portuguese. So those are the 3 that I've read, and I decided to use Brás Cubas here instead of using him in the Around the World challenge because I was going to use him for South America because he's in Brazil. But one of you guys gifted me The House of the Spirits by Isabel Allende, and she is Chilean. So I will be able to use this one for South America. And so I used the translation one over here. So again, they'll fit multiple places. You just have to figure out where they're going to go. So speaking of around the world, I have done North America and Europe because that's so incredibly easy. I read so many books set in those 2 places. And so then I have The House of the Spirits listed for South America and ready to go. I have other books that are set in Africa and Asia and Australia and even Antarctica, although somebody gave me Maisie versus Antarctica. And then I know Where Did You Go, Bernadette is set in Antarctica as well. That's not a book that I feel like I even want to read, so I'm probably not going to read it, but it's a possibility. And so I'm not concerned about Around the World getting filled in when I put focus there. I just haven't put focus there. And we have completed the Even Bigger Rainbow. So I'll scoot up and you can see that I have 1 book for everything. I completed that last month, all done and ready to go. Then we have my Make a Quote. My quote is from The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, which people think is funny that my quote comes from a sad book when I hate to read sad books, but my daughter made me read it. It says, I fell in love the way you fall asleep, slowly and then all at once. So you guys gave me a lot of suggestions last time, especially for asleep and slowly, and I loved it. And so I think this is also not going to be that difficult to do once I sit down and do it. Also, I don't know why I have not found a book that ends in or that has and in it. I feel like and is probably something that is definitely in a book that I'm reading. I just need to get it and put it over here. But this is what I have so far from everything I've read. Then we have Spooky Creatures, which I'm about halfway. Yeah, I'm halfway done with. I just put Storm Echo in here for shifters. And then I have some suggestions for merfolk and zombies and aliens, because I have a whole series of alien romances. That won't be hard. But spirit. Does this mean ghost spirit situation or something else? Because I would like to just pick a book that maybe has a spirit that is haunting a place, but I don't know if that's what that means. So if somebody has clarification on spirit, or can I change that to be something else like an orc or a goblin? Will that work? I don't know. Anyway, this is what I have so far, and we'll see what happens when I get closer to needing to finish this one. All right, Become the Avatar. I'm actually going to finish 3 of these. I was going to be 4 because I was going to put Inkheart here, but I do think I have another book that has fire on the cover. But You Like It Darker has earth. Problematic Summer Romance has water. And If It Makes You Happy has air, because you can literally see the leaves are falling on the cover. So they're being blown in the wind. That's my air. And then I just need a fire book. So Problematic Summer and If It Makes You Happy, I'm both reading. I'm reading both of those this month. So this will look a lot different next time I check in. Then we have animals, and the one I'm currently reading right now, which is called The Rooster Down the Block. Let me put that here. Oh no, I don't like that. Do y'all like it? I had to make mine do that, wrap around. I can't stand it when it doesn't. Anyway, the one I'm currently reading that book right now, and that's going to go there in farm animals, because literally she has roosters and chickens. And then the next book in the series, somebody has a weenie dog. So I'm definitely counting that. Let me put that over here. I'm definitely counting that as my house pet, which means it's called Down the Way. I know it's something the way. We'll say down, and then I'll fix it if it's not. But anyway, that means this month I will finish both of those and finish Animal Friends completely. And then we have the Queer Alphabet, which you can see does not have a lot of stuff in here, because I've been reading books that are queer books, but I've been counting them in other places. So I did just tell somebody Love at First Fright that I read as my new release, which we'll see in a second, for last month. Both of the characters are bi. So if y'all want a bi or pan character for right here and you need it, it's called Love at First Fright, and it's really cute. So there you go. That's a recent one that I've read that I had to count somewhere else, but it counts for here. Anyway, I've also got quite a few options that people have given me. You guys are the best when I ask for suggestions. So this will happen. It just needs to happen. Also, the Two-Spirit that you guys have given me, I've already read all of those. So you guys gave me like 2 or 3 suggestions, and I was like, I've already read that. So Joshua Whitehead writes a couple of books. I've read his. And I can't think of another author right now off the top of my head, but I've read a couple already. And so you can't count books in HRCYED that you've already read. That's one of the main rules. No rereads. All right. Favorite HRCYED 1 prompt. And I have the Tea Dragon Society here because I was going to read a completed webcomic. I'm thinking I might change this, and I might read a 500-page book in one day, because that's not hard for me to do. I literally just did it the other day, but the book that I read was Inkheart, and I need to count that somewhere else, so I'm not counting it here. But I think I could read a 500-page book in one day. I also think I could read an entire series that has more than 4 books, but that seems like, why? Like, why would I do that when I could just read one book that has 500 pages in it? I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to do any of these big ones. And a lot of the other ones are 5 books, 5 books, 5 books, So I think I'm going to switch to this one, but we haven't gotten here yet. When I roll this, I will worry about this one. I'm not concerned about it right now. BIPOC authors. See, most of these could have been in my countries, like set in a different country, but I wanted to use them over here. So I still need 5 more. So I'm halfway. I've done 5. I need 5 more. And so we will see what I can find when I'm going around reading books, looking for authors, all kinds of stuff. If y'all want a book set in Africa that is very good, it's not called It Ends with Night, because this is the end of that series, but this is from Yasmin Ango, I'm going to call it thriller espionage almost kind of series. So good. So good. And it's a trilogy too. So if you need and you want to count it for your trilogy and you're doubling up, you can count it over here as well. So anyway, that's my plug for the BIPOC ones. Then we have new releases, which I have read for July, August, and September. October, my new release is Mate, which is a new Allie Hazelwood. It's a second in the series after Bride. And I've already pre-ordered it. That's what I will be reading in October. Challenge yourself. I am reading 20 T. Kingfisher backlist books. It doesn't have to be backlist. I just want to read 20 books by T. Kingfisher before the year is out. So at first I said all T. Kingfisher books that I have not already read, but there's so many. Anyway, I've read 5 of them so far. And there are some, the reason I said 20 is because there are some that I want to count in other places. And I'm like, okay, but if I count that over there, I can't count it here. So I've got to get 20 books filled in this space right here. If there's other T. Kingfisher books that I want to use in other places, that's fine. But I'm only counting the books one time. And if they're in this spot, then they're part of the 20, not somewhere else. I hope that makes sense. So I've read 5. I need 15 more to get this done. Then I have the nonfiction challenge, which I finished last month. And so there's everything from the nonfiction challenge. Now, the reason that you saw the nonfiction challenge and you saw the even bigger rainbow is because I didn't hide those yet. I'm about to go hide those because when I do my updates, I want it to just be things that I'm working on. So I hide all the ones that I'm finished with. The last thing I have is Q's recommendations. Again, it's empty. I have not even started looking at Q's stuff to figure it out. But the way you hide things in case you want to do this is you just right click on it and you click hide sheet. And then it tells you that the sheets are hidden and you have to use the view menu up here at the top to be able to see your hidden sheets. Fine by me. I don't need them because I've already filled them out. So the even bigger rainbow, I'm going to do the same thing and I'm going to hide it. And there we go. So the sheets at the bottom now are the only ones that I have left on the bingo board. I have completed 6 of the spots on the bingo board. I will definitely finish 2 more this time. I will finish the animal one. Oh, I might finish 3 this month. I'll finish the animal one. I will finish the avatar one. And I'm going to finish the last 10 years. So that's a lot. Anyway, I asked last time about you guys seeing a progression percentage, and a lot of you were like, yes, I love to see the percentage change. So I didn't tell you what it was at the beginning because I didn't know what it was before I started updating things because I didn't go put it in until right now. So I'm going to put it in. I'll be back to show you what it is. Okay, so I've actually done it in 2 different ways. I did it one way in completed squares. So like all the books for these 6 squares that are completed equals 19.25%. Let me get this box selection out of the way. Stop it. That's not what I meant to do. 19.25% of everything completed has been marked off. Like those are the squares that are completed. The books completed is 48.13%, which means, Django wants to say hi, which means I'm almost halfway done with all of the books. Now for mine, I have 187 books to read. So I'm halfway done with the books and it's not December yet. So that means that I'm ahead a little bit. Like I'm halfway, almost halfway, right? A couple more books will probably put me halfway and it's not December. So that makes me feel good about what's left, what I have to do. And we'll look at this at the beginning next time before I go through and add everything up. And then we'll see how it changes over the course of the next month from 19% completed squares, 48% completed books, and we'll see the numbers go up. Eventually at the end, they should both be at 100 at the same time. So I think that will be interesting to watch. Okay, I am going to go get Django a sweater. He is cold, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye. It says, I fell in wet. Oh my gosh.